If you only knew who walks right beside you right now in the path that you are choosing, you would never be fearful, doubtful, anxious. That is a quote by A Course in Miracles that I heard from the beloved teacher Wayne Dyer one time. And I remember listening to this and thinking, oh my God, that's all that came through my mind. If I only knew, if I could only know. And this is what I want to talk to you about today. My name is Paola, and I am so grateful to be here in the presence of all of you guys that are getting online. I am excited to talk to you about trust today. I'm excited to talk about that thing that walks right beside you. And I know that there is no beside you, there's no in, there's no out. That is just an understanding of this third dimension. But because we are in the third dimension, I am going to allow myself to use those terms: below, behind, above, ahead, forward. But if we only knew what walks right beside us. And someone said one time, I can't remember who it was, you don't need to have a spiritual life. Nobody needs to get into a spirituality, whatever that means to you. But life is a lot easier when you do. You don't have to, but we get to walk with so much more grace when we do. Now, my favorite definition of spirituality is, I heard it from Reverend Michael Beckwith. And Michael Beckwith says, spirituality is just when you are communing with what is eternal. Is when you are tapping into what is eternal, which doesn't mean your name, your nationality, your race, your age, your title, how much money you have in the bank, all of the studies that you've had, what university you went to, who you married, who are your kids. All of those things are temporary. 2 weeks ago I was talking about that a little bit. The impermanence of our life sometimes feels so real. This little moment here on earth feels so real, and we think this is it. This is it, the bills that I have to pay, the problem that I have with my mom, the situation that happened 2 weeks ago, the situation in the world. This is it. And then we narrow our vision to what is happening in front of our eyes, and then we get so close to it and we become fearful. We become doubtful. We become so anxious. But today I am here to talk to you about that thing, that presence that walks right beside you in the path that you choose. And listen to this word, that you choose. Because at the end of the day, you get to decide in this human incarnation through free will, through choice, through the power of choice, where do you want to go? Now you can be choosing from your subconscious mind, or you can be choosing being awake, opening your inner eye, opening your inner ears, opening your heart, understanding life more through here than through here. I'm not saying don't use your head, use it, because this is a beautiful technology for us to understand this third dimension, this human experience. But how about we signed up to learn and to grow and to expand in this beautiful human experience, knowing a little more than what they talk in the news, knowing a little more than what they taught us in school, knowing a little more than what is normal to talk about. And I know if you're tuning into this call, into this Facebook Live, it's because you like to talk about these kinds of stuff. If we only knew who walked right beside us in the path that we have chosen, we would have never been anxious or doubtful or controlling or fearful or fighting or defending on any of that. And I'm adding to the quote, to the original quote that comes from A Course in Miracles. So what are you talking about, Paola? What are you talking about? Well, what I'm talking about is having a more mystical life. I am going through a course, it's called A Mystical Life. something along those lines. And I've been learning about mysticism, and mysticism is having a deep realization of what life is, life with a capital L, what this existence is. And so when we place our attention to that invisible realm, and it doesn't have to be something huge. You don't have to do big rituals. You don't have to sacrifice yourself to be able to experience this. It could happen in a matter of a moment by you closing your eyes and tuning in with your breath. That's it. When I used to teach in a class, hopefully that'll happen again, I would say to people at the beginning of my class, if breathing is the only thing that you take from this class, is enough. If taking a deep breath today it's your take on, it's what you take from this class, that will be enough, because the breath, tuning in with that simple act of breathing, could be one of the most profound things that can bring you to the truth that there is a presence that walks right beside you in whatever path that you choose. Even if you think you've made a mistake, even if you think, oh my God, I shouldn't have done that, even if you right now are in guilt and shame and you think that you did it wrong, there is a presence walking right beside you, loving you unconditionally, helping you every step of the way. Now, it sounds great to hear someone talking about it, but it's a lot better when you get to feel it, when you get to experience it. One of the reasons why I loved teaching arrhythmia is because people were having an experience of the mystical. And so my words weren't only words, people were having an experience of the words. So there was no convincing. In fact, I would say it wasn't much for me to say, but I had to teach the class, and I love teaching the teachings of Michael Bernard Beckwith. But when you're having an experience of it and you get to tune into what is real, then we get to remember that it doesn't matter what path you choose. There's always going to be a presence walking right beside you. So there's no need to go into anxiety, to go into fear, to go into doubt. The other day on my Facebook, I posted something from Brené Brown. I'm going to read it right now to you because I am on my Facebook page on my other window. If it charges. If it doesn't, that's all right too. And Brené Brown said, "You are afraid of surrender because you don't want to lose control. But you never had control. All you had was anxiety." And she reposted from Elizabeth Gilbert, the writer of Eat, Pray, and Love. I'm going to say it one more time. You're afraid of surrender because you don't want to lose control. But you never had control. All you had was anxiety. So today I am talking to you about the power of tuning in to what is real, so that you can know my words, so that you can experience what I'm talking about. And I know that I might not be telling you anything new, but what I'm telling you right now is something that you've known all along, but it's a good day to remember. It's a good day to remember because I know right now in the world we're going through a lot. And as individuals in our personal lives, we're being polished. I don't know if you guys know this beautiful quote by Rumi that said, if with every rub you get irritated, how do you expect to be polished? If with every rub you get irritated, how do you expect to be polished? So right now we're going through polishing times. We're going through times where individually and as a collective, we're going through a lot. And I'm not saying everyone. Some people here watching might be having the time of their lives, so enjoy it. I'm not saying you have to be there. But I've been talking with a lot of people, and it seems to be something that is occurring to a lot of us. So what if We're not denying. I'm going to say this before I say the what if. We're not denying that things are occurring. We're not denying that the world is going through a lot of changes and it's uncomfortable. But what if I told you that if we get to remember every day, if we decide to remember every day that there is a presence walking right beside us in the path that we have chosen, that is the way that you get to experience this road with a lot more grace and ease. And not only that, but if you do that, you start being a beacon of light for the world. You start being that hope that perhaps someone in your life that would never tune in these kinds of videos because they don't understand what I'm talking about and they don't really want to understand it. What if those people, just by seeing you, you don't even have to say a word because you're cultivating this experience of the presence walking right beside you. What if that is what the world needs? It's you knowing and spreading your light into the world. Because perhaps your neighbor that would never like this page, sees you and hears the comment that you say, just a passing comment, and receives a little bit of hope. What if? And then when we know there is something, an intelligence, there's an infinite mind that you may want to call it God, you may want to call it Great Spirit, you may want to call it your highest self, the soul. It doesn't matter how you call it. But what if, when we start knowing this, then you start experiencing the miracles that you've been looking for? The name of this Facebook Live is We Are the Miracle. What if that's the only thing we need? It's so simple. It sounds so simple, and some people may say, Paula, that sounds too simple. You don't understand what's going on in my life. You don't understand how much it hurts me right now to be experiencing this. I honor what's going on in some of you guys' life. I've been there. I probably will be there again. But one thing I know, you don't need a spiritual life, but when you do have it, when you cultivate that aspect of self, when you cultivate silence, there is a grace that falls upon you that in some moments just helps you to put one foot in front of the other until one day you have overcome that lesson and you say, oh my God, that was probably the hardest thing that's ever happened to me, but was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. So my message today comes from A Course in Miracles. If you only knew who walked right beside you in the path that you have chosen, you would have never been fearful or doubtful. Now, I'm talking about trust. I'm talking about recognizing the presence of your highest self, of the divine mind, of the quantum field. Now, I don't know where you are in your path, but I know that it doesn't matter where I am in consciousness. I could be in a victim consciousness or I could be in oneness. Always appreciation helps me. The other day in a call I was participating on, someone said, spirituality pretty much means that you are grateful, that you tune into that quality of gratitude. So I am going to invite you, are you appreciating what is well in your life, or are you too laser focused on what's not working for you right now? I know it sounds easier said than done when poop has hit the fan, but what about appreciation? And let's even use that word and not gratitude. I study in the HeartMath Institute, and they were very clear about the word appreciation because for whatever reason in their studies, if I recall well, sometimes gratitude for some people was linked to the feeling of guilt and remorse. I can't remember how the study went, but they said, tell your clients appreciation. And when I am highly triggered and when I'm not feeling like being gratitude and gratitude, and I'm like, God, I know I need to be grateful, but I don't want to be in gratitude right now. I could change it for the word appreciation. See if it works for you. What if appreciation is just it opens the door And I know it's just a very subtle change in words, which might mean the same. But what can you appreciate right now about your life? That is one of the fastest ways to recognize this presence. Let me appreciate. I was talking to a friend this week, and she said that when her dad was passing, by the end of that last week that they had, he wasn't speaking very much, and she was doing the practice of appreciating, of gratitude, and she would play that with her dad. So, Dad, what are you grateful for? And she said he was grateful for the smallest thing. And she said he would be grateful for the leaf that he could see from the hospital window. He would be grateful for the ray of light that will come through the window. It was a tiny window in the hospital room, but he would be grateful for that, and they would play that. And what a beautiful practice to say goodbye to this world and to go back home. But we don't have to be in that situation to start being grateful. We can start right here, right now. You don't have to believe in anything of any particular religion or belief. Gratitude or appreciation, that little 3 millimeter distinction of words could help you a lot. So here's my invitation to you. There is a presence, there is an energy walking right beside you. No need to feel anxious. Now, easier said than done. Even myself, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I'm not catching my breath. But here's what I've been doing lately. I've been going into appreciation. I've been recognizing the presence a little bit more. I don't have to do it. I choose to do it. Why? Because then when the bumpy road is happening, you can navigate it with more grace. And you can keep reminding yourself, there's something here. I might not understand it right now, but there's something here. You try it and let me know how it goes. You don't have to believe what I say. Not a word. Just test it out and let me know how it goes. How about we finish this conversation with a little bit of breathing, with a little bit of recognition of the presence that is walking right beside you in the path that you have chosen. So I invite you to close your eyes in this moment. And I want you to take a deep breath of integration, integrating perhaps a word, a sentence that might have crossed your mind as I was speaking. And just take it in. Just the one thing that has landed in this conversation. And as we integrate into our hearts, we just take this moment on this Saturday to take a deep breath. Perhaps the deepest breath you have taken in this week or this month or this year. And when you exhale, I want you to exhale so much until you have nothing to exhale, and exhale some more. And as you inhale, just feel how good it is to be breathing in. And let go. And just notice how interesting that we need to do both. We need to inhale and we need to exhale. So in this conversation, we talked about trusting the presence that walks right beside you. In order to trust, we need to be in the rhythm of the breath, receiving and also letting go. Receiving, inhale, and also letting go. It's both. Giving and receiving, inhaling and exhaling, expanding and contracting. both darkness and light, both are part of the magic, of the mysticism of this beautiful existence. It's in the center of our beingness, between right and wrong. Where we can walk this path with grace, knowing that we're all in this together, and that there is a presence walking right beside us in the path that we choose. We're going to take the last 3 deep breaths. Inhale. Let go. Inhale, appreciate. Let go. Inhale, appreciate. Now let go. In this beautiful attitude of surrendering and appreciation, we open our eyes, come back where we are. Thank you so much for all of you that tuned in. I would love for you to come back to this video if it resonated, to watch it again. Sometimes the second time something else will click. Keep breathing, keep loving, keep opening your heart, even if it hurts at times. And I am so grateful for you. Thank you, thank you. Have a great day.